All right, so today we're diving into a really specific framework from the creator Hamza. The whole idea is that for a lot of guys, the hard part isn't getting the girl, it's everything that comes after. So yeah, let's get right into it.
Yeah, so the whole source material really starts with this question. It makes the case that, getting into the relationship, that's actually the easy part. The real test, the real challenge, is figuring out how to actually navigate it and keep that love going strong.
Okay, so in this explainer, we're going to break down this whole philosophy. The core argument is that the relationship phase itself is where so many men stumble. It's not about the initial chase, right? It's about understanding the day-to-day dynamics of keeping love alive, at least from this very specific point of view.
Now, this is really, really important to get. The whole framework is designed specifically for what the source calls a polarized relationship. We're talking about a dynamic between what it defines as very distinct masculine and feminine energies. It's made very clear that this advice isn't meant for any other kind of relationship.
Okay, so according to this particular worldview, a feminine woman's entire state of being, her mood, her happiness, how she acts, it's all a direct reflection of just one thing. And that one thing is, does she feel loved by her man? Not yesterday, not an hour ago, but right now, in this exact moment.
And the framework presents this as a complete night and day difference. So, when she feels loved, the idea is she's happy, she's secure, everything's good. But the second that feeling disappears, she becomes anxious, she starts to overthink everything, and she starts testing the relationship.
And you can see here how that internal state is supposed to translate directly into external behavior. So in this view, she goes from being, submissive and following his lead to actively challenging him. She becomes defiant, disrespectful, and the idea is she's doing it to get some kind of reaction out of him.
Wow. The source uses this really powerful, almost harsh metaphor to describe what's going on inside her when she feels unloved. It's meant to paint a picture of total emptiness, a real lack of life and vibrancy.
So the argument here is that because she isn't being filled up with his love, she starts looking for substitutes to fill that void. And these substitutes are presented as these kinds of instant gratification behaviors, things that the source itself actually calls degenerate.
Okay, so with all that in mind, what's the man's role here? According to the source, it's not just some simple task. It's framed as this constant, all-encompassing mission. Let's dig into what that actually means.
And this is where it gets really intense. The challenge is that she needs every single micro-interaction to be filled with love. We're not talking about big romantic gestures or saying I love you once in the morning. No, this is about a continuous, moment-by-moment transmission of love in literally everything you do, even the tiniest thing.
So, okay, how do you actively do that? Let's get into the practical how-to advice, and the source lays out a very direct and, sometimes pretty controversial set of actions and mindsets for actually pulling this mission off. All right, so a huge piece of this puzzle is physical intimacy. The source basically reframes the act of making love. It's not just a physical thing. It's seen as the most powerful and direct way to literally transmit that feeling of love and security into her.
And to guide this bodily transmission of love, the creator offers this specific acronym, DAP plus CAP. So the DAP part stands for dominance, aggression, and pain. And then the CAP part stands for connection, authenticity, and presence. It's presented as this kind of mental checklist, mixing this really forceful energy with a deep emotional connection.
Okay, and this is where the framework gets very paternalistic. The advice is that a man should set rules and expectations for his woman in the same way a good father would for his daughter. It's about providing firm guidance and setting boundaries, and this is all framed as a deeply loving and protective act. And here it is. This is presented as the absolute core mindset. The source literally says, love your woman like your one-year-old daughter. The claim is that if a man truly adopts this perspective, this protective, guiding kind of love, then according to this philosophy, the relationship will drastically improve.
So all of this, the micro-interactions, the acronyms, the father-daughter mindset, it's all building up to one central, incredibly powerful concept. This is basically the ultimate takeaway of the entire philosophy.
And this is a pretty radical idea. The source is absolutely clear on this point. Your track record doesn't matter. Everything you've done in the past, all the good things, the romantic trips, all the times you made her feel loved, none of it counts in the present moment. It's basically wiped clean.
So that just begs the question, doesn't it? If your entire history together means nothing from one moment to the next, what is the only thing that actually matters? What's the one thing that determines how she feels?
And this is it. This is the final, crucial point. The whole philosophy concludes that her feeling of being loved is constantly hitting the reset button. The only time frame that has any real meaning is this exact moment. So the challenge, the whole mission, is to make her feel loved right now.